In a set of 10 videos, we are going to discuss the concepts of complex numbers and popular questions which we see in competitive exams. Here is part 4 of our set of 10. We are going to look into operations of complex numbers and figure out what is 1 plus I whole square, what is 1 plus I to the power of 4, and based on this, we'll try to answer the question what is 1 plus I to the power of 12. Now, let's see how do we find the value of 1 plus I whole square. So, as you know, a plus b whole square can be written as a square plus 2ab plus b square. So similarly, we can expand what is 1 plus I whole square is equal to. I is an imaginary number, I square is minus 1, right? So when we multiply I plus I with it itself, we get 1 square, which is 1, plus twice 1 times I plus I square. Now that gives us 1 plus 2I. I square is negative 1 and 1 minus 1 is 0. We are left with 2I, and therefore the option A is the right option for us, correct? So I hope that is clear. Let's move on to question number 2. Well, in case you want to learn directly from me, feel free to send email on globalmathinstitute@gmail.com. Our students are right there on the top getting admission to the best universities. Now, let's figure out what is the value of 1 plus I to the power of 4. I've seen many times students expanding 1 plus I to the power of 4 and then evaluating, right? But see, how we can do it faster, that is what we are going to learn. So, 1 plus I to the power of 4 is basically equal to 1 plus I square and then whole square. You get the idea, right? Now, 1 plus I whole square, we just figured out, is 2I. So basically, we have to do square of 2I, right? And that gives you 4I square, or it is minus 4. So we get the answer as minus 4, and so B is the right option. So you see, even if the problem is 1 plus I to the power of 4, it is a good idea to work out what is 1 plus I whole square and then find the answer instead of expanding it using Pascal's triangle or any other way. So now that brings us to our test question, which is 1 plus I to the power of 12 is how much? Well, we could have done it in many different ways. One of them is 1 plus I to the power of 12. I could write this as 1 plus I whole square to the power of 6. 6 times 2 is 12, right? And then we get here 2I is 1 plus I whole square, and then to the power of 6 gives us 2 to the power of 6 times I to the power of 6. Correct? Now 2 to the power of 6 is basically equal to 64. And what is I to the power of 6? I to the power of 4, right? You could like that. I to the power of 4 is 1, right? Times I square, right? So which gives you negative 64. Makes sense. So negative 64 is the right answer for 1 plus I to the power of 12. I hope that makes sense. Well, with that, we come to an end of this set. However, here are the tips for students who are appearing for SAT. Well, if you're taking SAT, you should take it in grade 11 itself. Do not wait till grade 12. I will also suggest that you should have very good recommendations to join the best universities. You should plan your activities and use the best resources. You should feel free to ask questions and help from us. Education makes all the difference, and here is the email which you can send to us for our free videos. Thanks for your valuable time and all the best.